son of a gun. Prologue. I was born with the taste of dust, not gunmetal. That legend, like most, is horseshit. Mother brought me into this world behind a saloon while a man bled out 10 feet away. Her screams mixed with his. Neither mattered much to anyone. She named me Jesse because it was her father's name. Said he was a good man. Only good man she ever knew. Didn't matter. Good men die, same as bad ones. When I was 7, I watched her take a knife to the throat from a man she trusted. That's the day I learned, and to trust is just a fancy way to spell dead. I shot him with his own gun while he slept. First kill. Wasn't clean. Wasn't quick. But it was just. The preacher who found me said I was damned. Said the devil marked me. Then he tried to brand me with a cross to save my soul. That's how I got this scar. That's when I learned God's men can be just as cruel as the devil's. People call me killer, ghost, son of a gun. Names don't mean shit. I've buried better men than me, and worse ones too. This story ain't pretty, but it's mine. The only true thing I got left. Chapter 1. Curses. Oh, ride horseback. I ride into San Hallow more dead than alive. My horse isn't doing much better. 3 days of hard riding with a bullet still lodged somewhere beneath my ribs. The pain comes in waves now, not spikes. That's how I know infection's setting in. The town looks half abandoned. Wind whistles through empty doorways. Tumbleweeds gather against storefronts like pets without masters. I count 5 buildings still standing proud, the rest slouch toward dust. Easy girl, I mutter as my mare stumbles. Blood seeps through my shirt, spreading like spilled ink. Need whiskey for the pain. Need a doctor for the rest. The saloon's weathered sign creaks above me. Last chance, it proclaims in faded letters. Forbidden. Inside, silence wraps around me like a shroud. No piano player, no card games, just empty tables and chairs stacked against the wall. Place smells of stale beer and forgotten promises. Movement catches my eye. A woman stands behind the bar, wiping glasses with methodical precision. Slender, with black hair tied back by a red ribbon. She doesn't look up when I enter, but her shoulders tense. She knows I'm here. I drag myself to the bar, leaving a trail of dust and blood. Whiskey, I rasp, coins clattering onto the wood. Her eyes finally meet mine, dark, intelligent, assessing. She nods once, reaches for a bottle without looking away. Her movements flow like water. No wasted motion, no sound. She slides the glass toward me, and I notice the locket at her throat catching light. You don't talk much, I say, down in the whiskey in one burning gulp. I like that. She taps her throat once, shakes her head. Her fingers move in quick patterns I can't follow. That's when I see it. Carved into the wall behind her, my name. Jesse. Deep gouges in the wood, surrounded by tally marks. 13 of them. The exact number of men I've killed. My hand drops to my gun. Who did that? Delilah's eyes widen slightly. She reaches for a small notebook, writes quickly, and slides it toward me. Someone who's been waiting for you. Chapter 2. The Devil's Sermon. I slide the notebook back to her, my voice dropping. Been expecting someone. Just not here. The name rises like bile in my throat. Malrick Black. Once a fire and brimstone preacher in some backwater town, now shepherd to a flock of killers calling themselves the Ashen Choir. Man thinks the world's already damned. Might as well help it burn faster. This someone, he wear black robes, talk like he's swallowed scripture and it's rotting in his gut. Delilah's eyes widen. Her fingers dance in that silent language of hers before remembering I can't understand. She nods sharply, then writes, "He asked about the son of a gun." I drain the second whiskey she's poured without asking. The burn doesn't touch the cold spreading through my chest. I was 7 when Malrick found our homestead. Called me a mistake born of sin. Said my blood was cursed. My laugh sounds hollow even to me. Guess the bastard's curse took. 13 notches says so. Delilah's expression hardens. She reaches for her locket, fingers trembling slightly as she opens it. Inside, a face I haven't seen since I was a boy. My mother's face, smiling, unburdened. Beside it, burned into the silver, the mark of the choir, a cross wrapped in flames. My hand closes over hers. "Where did you get this?" She writes quickly. My sister joined them before they sacrificed her. Understanding crashes through me like lightning. The fire that took our home wasn't accident or bad luck. It was Malrick, burning away what he couldn't control. "How many in town are choir?" I ask. "Most fled when you were spotted heading this way. He's been spreading the gospel with your name in it." The whiskey turns sour in my stomach. "He won't stop coming." As if summoned by my words, hoofbeats thunder outside. 3 riders, moving fast. Delilah's hand closes around a derringer hidden beneath the bar. I touch her wrist, shake my head. This is my fight. I step outside, see 3 men in ash-smeared clothes, choir soldiers. They reach for iron. Too slow. My gun barks 3 times. Bodies hit dirt before the echo fades. When I turn back, Delilah stands in the doorway, eyes like flint. "It's begun again," I tell her. "And this time, ain't no second chances." Chapter 3. Dust and Blood. Sheriff Colton appears from the shadows of the jailhouse, like he's been waiting for the gunfire. His weathered face bunches into a frown as he stares at the 3 bodies cooling in the dirt. "God damn it, Callahan. Been 10 minutes in my town." 13 years since I seen San Hallow, I reply, holstering my weapon. Figure I'm making up for lost time. These men were choir. Would have put you and every soul here in the ground before sundown. I kick one of the bodies over, revealing the charcoal cross sewn into his shirt. "You want me gone? Just say so." "Not like I planned on staying." The sheriff spits, torn between relief and protocol. "Sundown. I want you gone by then." Delilah steps forward, placing herself between us. Her eyes burn with something I haven't seen in years: hope. She clutches her locket, opening it again, but this time she points at something etched inside the rim I hadn't noticed. She pulls out her notebook, writes quickly, then shows me a single name: Elias. My breath catches. Elias Mercer? He's still alive. She shakes her head, uncertain. Rode north, chasing choir. Never came back. Red Hollow. Elias. The only man who'd ever ridden with me, longer than a fortnight without trying to collect my bounty. Man taught me to track through sandstorms, to read a man's intentions in his eyes. How long ago? 3 weeks. Too long to be good news, but I owe him. Then north I ride. 4 days later, the broken bones of Red Hollow rise from the dust. Ghost town, abandoned after the silver dried up. Nothing lives here but scorpions and memories. Something else waits for me at the center of town. A body swings gently from the gallows platform, turning slow circles in the hot breeze. Even from this distance, I recognize the silhouette. Elias's broad shoulders, his distinctive boots. I dismount, approach with my hand on my gun. His face is unrecognizable now, ravaged by sun and scavengers, but the silver watch chain hanging from his vest is unmistakable. I'd won it for him in a card game in Tucson. That's when I notice what they've done to his chest. Carved deep into the leathery skin, a message meant for me. The thunder dies with him. Thunder, Elias's nickname for me. Said I arrived like thunder, sudden and dangerous. I cut him down gently, lay him in the dirt. They knew I'd come, I whispered to the ghost town. They're waiting. Chapter 4. The Ashen Message. I kneel beside Elias's broken body, dust swirling around us both. Something flutters from his pocket, a torn page, yellowish and weathered. Looks like it was ripped from one of those hymnals Malrick carries. I unfold it carefully, revealing spidery handwriting and dried blood. Son of a gun, you cannot outrun your birthright. Every bullet you fire only feeds the prophecy. The girl will bring you to me, one way or another. Her blood or yours, the choice was always an illusion. M. My hands shake as I fold the note and tuck it inside my vest. The bastard knew I'd come for you, I muttered to Elias. Used you as bait. Used her as bait. It takes me an hour to dig a shallow grave behind the old church with nothing but my hands and knife. Another hour to cover Elias with stones so the coyotes can't get to him. I place his silver watch in his cold palm before covering his face. Sorry I was late, old friend. I pour a measure of whiskey over the grave and another for myself, watching the sun bleed across the western sky. Night falls like a funeral shroud. I don't light a fire. Instead, I keep watch from the church's collapsed bell tower, rifle across my knees. Near midnight, firelight flickers across the canyon. I train my spyglass on the glow. Figures in ragged black robes circle a towering pyre. The Ashen Choir, 20 strong at least, swaying to some unholy rhythm. Behind them stands a wooden platform, crude and hastily constructed. My blood turns to ice. Delilah kneels there, chained to a post. Her face is bruised, but her eyes burn with defiance even from this distance. Her dress is torn, stained dark with what can only be blood. Malrick stands behind her, his skeletal hand resting on her head like a twisted blessing. I lower the spyglass, my vision tunnel into a single point of clarity. All these years running. All these years keeping the curse at arm's length, trying not to drag others into my damned orbit. And for what? Those I care about die anyway. Those who help me pay the price. No more running, I whisper, checking my revolver. 6 bullets. 6 chances to tear down the choir and their preacher. Elias is gone. Delilah's caught in my curse. Time to answer Malrick's sermon with gunfire and damnation of my own. Chapter 5. The Road to Fire. I wait for the false dawn, that gray hour when night starts bleeding out. The canyon's still dark as a grave, but the choir's fire burns bright as sin. My boots make no sound as I descend, stay into the shadows, moving like a ghost among the rocks. The choir's gathered in a circle now, 30 of them at least, their black robes blending together like a pool of oil. They're chanting something low and rhythmic, words I can't quite catch, carried away by the desert wind. Through a gap in their circle, I spot Delilah. They've tied her to a wooden post, arms stretched behind her. Blood trails from her split lip, and a dark bruise blooms across her cheek. But her eyes, they burn with something fiercer than the fire. She ain't broken, not by a long shot. Malrick stands before her, skeletal arms raised to the dying stars. His voice carries across the canyon, unnatural in its power. "Behold the thunder's rose," he calls, and the choir responds with a moan that makes my skin crawl. Plucked from her garden to bring forth our Savior. He turns, gesturing to Delilah. She is the bait that brings the storm. Through her, the son of a gun walks into judgment. I grip my Colt tighter. 2 guards stand at the perimeter, rifles loose in their hands. They're watching the spectacle, not the shadows. Their mistake. I slip behind the first one, clamp my hand over his mouth, and drag my knife across his throat. Ease him down, silent as fallen dust. The second turns just in time to catch my blade between his ribs. He drops without a sound. 3 more guards patrol the outer rocks. One by one, they join the silence. The chanting grows louder. Malrick's holding something above his head. Looks like a branding iron glowing red hot. Delilah strains against her bonds, face twisted in defiance. No more waiting. I step into the firelight, Colt already singing. The first shot takes a cultist in the back of the head. The second drops another before they even realize what's happening. By the third shot, they're scattering like startled crows. "Malrick." My voice tears through the night. The choir panics. Some rush me with knives drawn. Others flee into the darkness. My Colt barks again and again, each shot finding flesh. Blood spatters the sand. I cut through them like a scythe through wheat, reloading on the move, never slowing. One grabs my arm. I smash his face with my pistol grip. Another lunges. My boot connects with his chest, sending him backward into the fire. When I reach the platform, Delilah's eyes lock with mine. A quick slash of my knife, and her bonds fall away. She staggers but catches herself, grabbing a fallen cultist's knife. Through the chaos and smoke, I search for Malrick. The black-robed figure is nowhere to be seen. "Where is he?" I snarl, spinning around. Delilah touches my arm, points to a narrow pass in the canyon wall. Fresh boot prints lead that way. The remaining cultists are either dead, dying, or fled. This wasn't a ritual. It was bait. A performance meant to draw me in. "He wanted me here," I mutter, helping Delilah down from the platform. "This is just the beginning of whatever game he's playing." She nods, her eyes telling me what I already know. We've walked straight into Malrick's twisted sermon. Chapter 6. The Devil's Trail. Delilah and I ride hard under a sky that bleeds orange and purple. Her horse matches mine stride for stride as we follow those boot prints out of the canyon, across the scrubland, and toward the jagged silhouette of broken mesa, rising like a snapped spine against the horizon. "He's heading for the chapel," I shout over the thundering hooves. "Only thing up there worth hiding in." Delilah nods, her face grim in the fading light. The wind whips her dark hair behind her like a battle flag. The trail grows clearer as we climb. Not just one set of prints now, but many. Malrick's faithful, fleeing to their sanctuary. The horses labor up the steep path, foam flecking their necks. By the time we reach the plateau, night has fallen completely. The chapel of the reborn looms before us, a twisted mockery of faith. Half the roof is collapsed. Twisted iron crosses lean at unnatural angles from the walls. The stone is blackened, as if the building itself was burned from the inside out. We dismount, guns drawn. Delilah signs quickly, many inside, pointing to the fresh footprints leading through the broken doors. The stench hits me first. Not death exactly, but something worse. Ritual and sacrifice and old violence baked into the stone like a permanent stain. Candles flicker inside, casting monstrous shadows across the walls. "Come in, son of a gun." Malrick's voice slithers out from the darkness. "I've been waiting for this reunion since you were born, screaming behind that saloon." I step through the doorway, Delilah at my shoulder. Malrick stands at the altar, his yellow eyes reflecting candlelight like a desert predator's. The remaining choir members form a semicircle behind him, their faces hidden in shadow. "Look at you," he says, spreading his skeletal hands, returning to the fold like the prodigal you are. "I came to put you in the ground," I snarl. Malrick laughs, a sound like breaking glass. "You don't even know what you're part of, do you? What your mother began." He reaches beneath the altar and pulls out a book. Its cover looks wrong somehow. Too supple, too alive. I realize with a jolt it's bound in human skin. "Your mother's legacy," he says, opening it reverently. "Her greatest work." The pages glow with strange symbols, but one name stands out, written in what looks like dried blood. Sarah Callahan. My mother? She wasn't just running from me, Jesse. Malrick's voice drops to a whisper. She was completing the ritual. And you were the final ingredient. The son born of blood and gunpowder. My hand moves before my mind can catch up. The Colt roars, the bullet tearing through the book and into the altar behind. Malrick doesn't flinch, just laughs as he slips the damaged book inside his robes. "The curse wasn't mine to cast," he says, backing toward a hidden door. "I'm just the faithful servant ensuring it's fulfilled." The choir surges forward as he vanishes. Delilah takes two down with her knife while I empty my Colt into the rest. When the smoke clears, she grabs my arm, eyes demanding answers. "I don't understand," I mutter, staring at the blood-splattered altar. "If he didn't curse me..." The truth hits like a bullet to the chest. My mother. The woman I've avenged 100 times over. The saint in my memory. "She's the one who started this," I whisper. "And Malrick's just trying to finish what she began." Chapter 7. Heresy by Blood. In the aftermath, stillness fills the chapel like a physical weight. I slump against the broken altar, my fingers numb. The skin-bound book lies where it fell, its pages splayed open like a gutted animal. The bullet passed clean through, but most of the text remains intact. Too intact. "I need to know," I mutter, more to myself than to Delilah. She kneels beside me, her presence steady as a heartbeat as I pull the book closer. The pages feel warm, as if they still remember being alive. My mother's handwriting fills the margins, precise, educated, nothing like the desperate scrawl of the outlaw I'd imagined her to be. March 14th. The choir grows stronger. Malrick suspects nothing of my true purpose. The vessel must be born, when the seventh star aligns. I flip forward, my throat tightening. July 8th. I cannot undo what was started generations ago, but I can redirect it. The child will be both curse and salvation. The blood price must be paid, but on my terms, not theirs. Another page. This one stained brown with what I now know is blood. Her blood. September 21st. They've found me. The child stirs within. If I die before completion, Malrick will seek to finish what I've begun, but twist it to his purpose. I've left signs for my son to follow when he's of age. The circle must end with him. Son, not daughter. In the wavering candlelight, I see my mother clearly for the first time. Not the sainted martyr of my memories, but a desperate woman playing a game of blood and sacrifice. And I was her game piece. I wasn't cursed, I whisper. I was crafted. Made for something. Delilah's hand finds mine. She waits until I look up, then signs slowly so I can't misunderstand. You are not your mother's sins. Her eyes hold mine, unflinching and clear. In them I see not pity, but recognition. She too knows of what it means to be shaped by others' choices. What am I then? The question scrapes my throat raw. Delilah reaches for her notebook, but instead touches her own chest, then mine. Yourself. I close the book, my decision hardening like iron cooling in water. Malrick isn't the one who cursed me. He's the one trying to complete what my mother started. I stand, muscles aching with newfound purpose. Whatever ritual this is, whatever I was born to be, it ends with me. She nods, then signs. Where? The last entry in the book, dated the night before my birth, gives me the answer. Grave Ridge, I say, the name settling like lead in my stomach, where it all began. There's a stone circle there, older than the town's. My mother performed the first part of whatever this is there. Delilah raises an eyebrow. 3 days ride west, I explain. Through the devil's backbone. She doesn't hesitate, just nods again and stands, brushing dust from her clothes with steady hands. You don't have to come, I say. This isn't your fight. Delilah's eyes flash. She points to the scar on her throat, then to the book, then makes a sharp cutting motion with her hand. This is everyone's fight. I holster my gun, feeling its weight differently now. No longer just a tool for vengeance, but something else. A key, perhaps, or a lock. Then we ride at dawn, I say. To end this. Not for revenge anymore, but to break whatever chain my mother forged. Delilah smiles, a grim, determined curve of lips. In the silence between us grows something stronger than words could hold. Chapter 8. Grave Ridge. The Devil's Backbone lives up to its name, a jagged, twisting trail through canyons that whisper with the voices of those who never made it through. We ride in silence, Delilah watching our backs while I track the way forward. By the third day, the land begins to change, opening up into a wide basin ringed by chalk-white cliffs. Grave Ridge, I announce, the words falling like stones. The valley spreads before us, a perfect bowl carved by some ancient flood. At its center stands what remains of a small cabin, my first home, now just blackened beams jutting from the earth like broken ribs. Even from here, I can see the chimney still standing, a lone sentinel over the devastation. Delilah touches my arm, her face questioning. Yeah, I confirm. That's where it happened. We approach slowly, our horses' hooves whispering through tall, sun-bleached grass. Nothing moves in the hollow except dust and memory. I dismount near what was once the front porch, my boots crunching on something that might be glass or might be bone. My mother died here, I say, the word strangely hollow. Or at least, that's what I thought happened. Delilah slides from her saddle, watching me with quiet intensity. The foundation remains intact, a stone rectangle filled with ash and broken timbers. I navigate through the wreckage, stepping carefully where walls once stood. In the corner, half buried under collapsed roofing, a trap door to the cellar remains. Help me with this. Together we clear the debris, revealing the iron ring of the door. It opens with a groan that sounds like pain. The cellar survived the fire. Stone walls, dirt floor, shelves still holding dusty jars of preserves. And there, in the corner, a small metal box stamped with a symbol I recognize from the skin-bound book. My hands shake as I lift it. Not locked. Inside, a folded piece of paper, brittle with age, and a single bullet marked with strange symbols. I unfold the letter carefully, reading aloud so Delilah can share its secrets. Jesse, if you're reading this, I failed. The choir found me before I could undo what I began. You were never meant to be a weapon, but that's what I helped make you. The ritual was generations old. I thought I could control it, redirect it. I was wrong. The curse isn't something cast upon you. It's woven into you. Your blood carries power the choir covets. Malrick will try to complete what I started, to open what should remain closed. I've left you one bullet. It's the last piece. Do not let him use you. Do not become what they want you to be. You are more than your blood. I'm sorry, my son. Your mother, Sarah. I fold the letter, a cold certainty settling in my chest. She knew all along. Delilah touches my face, draws my gaze to hers. Her fingers form a simple question. Okay? No. I answer honestly. But I'm ready. I pocket the marked bullet, feeling its weight like destiny. Outside, the sky darkens unnaturally fast. Storm clouds gather, spiraling above the ridge like vultures circling a dying man. He's coming, I murmur. Malrick's already here. Delilah's hand finds mine, squeezes once. One bullet, I say, more to myself than to her. One last choice. Whatever my mother started, whatever she thought I was supposed to be, it ends here. The wind picks up, carrying the scent of ash and something older. In the distance, thunder rolls across the basin like a warning. Chapter 9. Thunder walks alone. The storm becomes my guide. Lightning splits the sky, illuminating the path ahead in strobes of harsh white. The desecrated chapel stands defiant against the horizon, its broken steeple a crooked finger pointing to heaven. A place where prayers died long ago. Delilah wanted to come. I left her at the ridge with my promise to return. Black-robed figures move like shadows around the chapel entrance. Malrick's last zealots, the true believers. They've lit torches that sputter against the rain, creating a ring of trembling light. I dismount silently, letting thunder mask my approach. The first cultist never sees me, just feels cold steel across his throat before slumping into mud. The second turns, mouth forming a shout that never comes as my bullet finds his chest. Then I am the storm. I move through them with the same mindless purpose as the lightning above. One falls with a knife in his eye, another with a bullet where his heart should be. My gun speaks a language of finality that needs no translation. blood washes away in the rain. The mud grows darker beneath my boots. 3 cultists rush me at once. I take a blade to my shoulder before putting all 3 down. Pain is just another voice in the storm now, distant and unimportant. When I kick open the chapel doors, Malrick stands at the altar, that same twisted bone cross in his hands. Behind him, a half circle of candles illuminates a wall painted with familiar symbols, my mother's work. "You've come home, son," he calls over the thunder. "Your mother's work is nearly complete." "I'm not here to complete anything," I answer, leveling my gun. "I'm here to end it." He laughs, a sound like breaking glass. "You can't end what's in your blood. The curse your mother started must be finished." "You're right about one thing." I advance slowly, watching as he edges toward a side door. "My mother started this, but I'm not my mother." "Then what are you?" He sneers, backing away. "What comes after?" I pull the marked bullet from my pocket, slide it into the chamber. Malrick's eyes widen in recognition. "That's the end." He turns to run. My shot catches him between the shoulder blades. He stumbles forward, crashing into the altar. The symbols on the wall seem to pulse once, then fade as his blood spreads across the floorboards. He tries to speak, blood bubbling between his lips. The curse dies with you, I finish. When I'm certain he's gone, I approach the wall. The symbols are already fading, like writing in sand swept by the tide. Whatever power they held dissipates with each passing second. The storm breaks suddenly. Rain stops hammering the roof. Through a hole in the ceiling, stars become visible. I ride back to the ridge empty-handed, covered in blood not my own. Delilah waits where I left her, relief washing over her face when she spots me. She rushes forward, hands movingly, asking questions I don't have answers for. "It's done," is all I say. We sit side by side on what remains of my mother's porch, watching stars emerge as clouds recede. Neither of us speaks, me by choice, her by circumstance. Words feel too small for what's happened. The curse is broken, but there's no triumph in it. Just quiet, and the weight of an ending heavier than any victory could be. Delilah's hand finds mine in the darkness. Her fingers intertwine with mine, warm, alive. A reminder that endings sometimes make room for beginnings. Chapter 10. Where Legends Rot. We watch the chapel burn from the ridge. The flames eat through old wood and older hate, consuming remnants of my mother's mad gospel. Delilah stands shoulder to shoulder with me, her silhouette sharp against the fire's glow. Her hand occasionally brushes mine, not needing to hold it, just confirming I'm still there. "Some endings don't feel like you thought they would," I say into the night. She nods, understanding written in the tight lines around her eyes. I've learned to read her silences like she reads my words. When nothing remains but embers, we ride. Not toward anything particular, just away from what's been left behind. The devil's backbone stretches before us, its sharp ridges black against the star-scattered sky. We make camp in the shelter of a fallen mesa, and I bury my mother's book beneath rocks where no one will find it. Delilah watches me, then scrawls in her notebook. "Some ghosts need proper burials." "These weren't ghosts," I answer. "They were chains." We sleep side by side that night, not touching but close enough to feel each other's warmth. The closeness feels foreign after years of keeping distance between myself and anything worth losing. Morning comes clear and cold. We ride through 3 sunsets before reaching a small settlement nestled against foothills. Mercy, they call it. New name for a new beginning. The buildings are half-built, the people cautious, but not fearful. Delilah's eyes light up at the sight of children playing in the dusty street. That evening, she writes, I could stay here. Help them build something honest. I read her words twice, feeling the weight of what she isn't asking. You should, I finally say. This place needs someone who sees clearly. What about you? Her hand trembles slightly as she writes. Some men aren't meant for building. We don't speak of it again, but 3 days later, I wake before dawn. Delilah sits at the small table in our rented room, a cup of coffee waiting for me. She's already packed her few belongings. She hands me a folded piece of paper. I tuck it away without reading it. Some words need distance before they can be faced. The world's quieter now, I tell her. Malrick's dead. His followers scattered. No one hunting you anymore. She nods, then points at me, eyebrows raised in question. I keep moving, I answer simply. Not toward anything, just away. When I leave, she stands at the porch of the small boarding house. I don't look back until I reach the edge of town. She's still there, hand raised. Not in farewell, but in acknowledgement. As if to say, I see you. I know what you are. The road stretches empty before me. No pursuers, no ghosts, no curse. Just dust and distance. My gun sits heavy at my hip. Not a legend now, just a tool. The thunder in my chest is quieted to a low rumble. I am neither the villain of Malrick's sermons, nor the hero of saloon tales. I'm what remains when legends fade. A man with blood in his hands and miles to cover before sundown. The silence that follows the final shot is the truest sound I've ever known. It echoes across the wasteland, carrying no promises, demanding no redemption. Just the space to breathe between one heartbeat and the next.